Hi, everybody. William here with a.p.c. Photography. We're going to talk about the best podcast mics you can get right now if you're doing live streams, podcast, Zoom, team meetings, or any other form of streaming, period. We're going to talk about those tonight. And let's start off with what I consider the easiest one and the least expensive one to jump into. That's a USB mic and easy to work with right away. That's going to be the AT2040. This one is $159. Looks really good. It sounds great. Audio Technica has a tremendously great reputation for getting good sound microphones. Been in the industry for I think like 60 or 70 years, and they just do an excellent job. It's not a gigantic one, and depending on the stand you're using, it can be right below you, to the side of you. You can really mount these up in where you want to. And coming off of a USB, it makes it really easy if you've got. I'm speaking to all of those who are in the social media department on LinkedIn. You'll have the ability to have a really, really good mic that does the job for you and makes it really easy to use with anyone who has like headphones on, like right now. So this is like a setup you would have on the back of them. You're going to have the easiest, in my opinion, headphone volume and volume that is coming from your computer out of all the setup ones I'm going to show here tonight. Even though these are the least expensive at $159, they are the easiest and most versatile to work with. You have a headphone jack, you have a USB-C jack, you've got volume that's just a little scrolling volume, which is really easy to work with. And then you've got a volume for your computer. So any sound that's coming from your computer, you can hear it in your ears. So you kind of use it as a headphone jack also, which is super nice. Looks like we got somebody popped in on YouTube. Cool. This is a multicast, by the way. I'm multicasting to four services tonight, so it's going to be YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So this would be the AT2040 USB, and you can read the title back there. It's really easy to use. Even has a low pass filter that's just a switch. This is tremendously easy to work with. This one, once again, is $159. If you have any questions about these, there's a QR code at the bottom here that's links to my email. You can email me and we can talk over thoughts and stuff like that of which ones to get. If you're looking for services, you can reach out to me for services. Next on our list is going to be the Rode Pod Mic USB. A little bit more money. It's $209. Superbly good microphone. If you've ever used the pod mics before, we've used them for the debate here in Seattle. Thank you, Ro, for your partnership and sponsorship on this one here. And they just sound great. There are USB C on these also. Really easy to use for the controls in the back of them. They're $209. They connect to either a regular stand in front of you or an arm stand really easy, and they look extremely good. Once again, when you're in this market, it's really easy to see the controls. So you're going to have volume up and down, headphones, but you're not going to have as many quick to reach options on the back of this one as you did with the AT2040. Let me show you. So the AT2040 for $159 actually had easier to use options. That's not to say that it's a better microphone, but if you're looking for someone who you're trying to get a microphone to them and they want the least amount of complication in getting that microphone done, welcome to the stream. Feel free to comment or ask questions that you can. Welcome to the stream. Feel free to ask questions. Thank you for joining us in APC broadcasting on YouTube. If you have any questions on these, I'll answer those. Feel free to comment. This is going to be the easiest one to work with to get people right off the bat, being able to put headphones in, USB, and the rest. Second easiest right now in the sub 300 category is going to be this one here, which is the Rode Podcast mic. Pretty big volume rocker. You're going to have headphone jacks, but it's not going to have all of the extra controls on the outside. There's an app for that that makes it work really, really good. Welcome to all those who've joined us here on APC Broadcasting. Um, we're looking at the pod mic right now. This is a very, very great mic for using for live streaming. Here's the front of it right here. Let's see. Here's the front of the pod mic right there. So if you're looking for it and you want to see the image, it's this right here. There's links for it in the description below. But this is a really good pod microphone, USB connection, and with if you're going to do any podcasts, this is going to be the one that's going to be the stellar one for you to work with. Next on our list, as we jump up to what everyone sees as a standard mic, actually, I have one of these mics here. Uh, I have one right here, which is the Shure mic. These things are amazing. I've been using these for a long time. They're the Shure MV7 Plus. They call it the Plus when you're going to get the USB with it, and it's a really great microphone. It's an industry standard microphone. Whenever you see one of those, generally iHeartMedia is the one that is doing the production for them on those podcasts because they love these microphones. They're easy to plug in, easy to work, easy to use. They work with almost any headphones you have out there. They work with Macs, PCs, no problem at all. The controls on the back of them are limited, though. This is the area that kind of gets me. They're very limited on the back control. So you just got a headphone jack and the USB-C in, and then on the top of it, where the color is. So, for example, where you see this color strip, that's actually where you turn the volume up and down. I'm not really particularly happy with that setup because it's a little confusing sometimes when you send that out. And if you're a chief marketing officer, if you're working on the product side of getting information out to people and you want to get this to a CMO, C suite, someone who's going to come in on a podcast, turning volume up and down, everything else, you're going to have the producer working with them a lot. Once again, like I said, the least expensive one in this setup, which is $159, which is the AT2040, has the best volume from the computer, headphone jack, and USB C setup out of everything. Sound quality wise, probably the best sounding one is going to be the Shure SMV Plus. It's going to just sound superb. It's going to give you great sound. It's a classic sound that comes out of the SM58 microphone. So you're going to get a huge win there. Now, for those who are a little bit on the I need eccentric, I need something that looks and has a whole nother flavor. There's a really good microphone, and it's made by a manufacturer most people have never heard of. But whoa, it's killer. Now this one is $299. This one is the Earthworks Icon. Wow, dude. And the Earthwork Icon is probably one of the best sounding microphones, but it's going to be one of the more expensive ones, but it's going to be one of the classic look ones. Hold on for just one second. And it's going to look really cool. It's going to have a classic look that you're not going to see every place else. It's also going to have a pretty refined rear control system. So for someone who is looking for a beautiful looking microphone with a beautiful look to it and has extra on it, it's going to be this one here. As you can see, it's got that nice silver knob, it's got the USB-C, and it's got the plug-in. Now, the sound coming from the computer, you're going to have to control that internally on an app, but this is going to be like quite phenomenal. So let's kind of go through the review these again and kind of go over what you're looking at for options. Number one, if you're just starting off on a budget and you want to get going and you got like less than $200 and you just want a solid microphone, it's going to be the AT2040. It's also probably the easiest one to use because it's more consumer based style or prosumer based style. So it allows you to use it, get it out to wherever you needed to get it to, meaning like seriously, if you need to get this to get sound to the person's headphones, hear something in the computer or get that, it's going to be there. The next one on the list is one that a lot of people know the brand, which is Rode and the pod mics, phenomenal. They sound great. We've used them on broadcasts that have been on national and local, and our debates here with the Mariota debate with Mayor Harrell and the new elect in Seattle. I don't live in Seattle. I don't remember her name. I think it's Kathy, but it just sounds good. We've used them for a lot of live shows, and they're just a phenomenal piece. The once again being closer to the prosumer level, it's going to have really easy to use controls that are mainly behind the microphone and their headphone and a couple little knobs. And then if we go to the classic, this is a $209, by the way. This one, if you're going to spend a little bit more money, is going to be $269. It's the Shure MV7 Plus. With a USB connection on this, it sounds great with some few caveats. Number one is the controls. So if you look at this part looks really cool in the back. You've got the USB-C, you've got the headphone jack, and you got the XLR, but there's no controls for you to control it. The reason why there's no controls is the actual controls are where that yellow line is there, or that LED line. That's where the volume control is. It's kind of a nuisance, especially when you're doing remote producing. It's if there's any issues or someone who doesn't have experience working with these, there can be dilemmas is the best way to put it with getting the controls of it. But the sound is extremely good. It's always been like a classic look. Everyone is used to seeing these because of the SM7Bs, which were something that's been in like broadcast studios for a long time. And the reason why they're in broadcast studios, they just sounded good. They weren't the best one out there, but they were just a solid 80, 90, just right up there for sound. And it allows you to be able to use it everywhere and get similar sound. This is going to be the new classic for that because this is similar like that Shure 58 sound. So people can sing into it, talk into it, do all the regular stuff with it, and it's going to sound really good. Next on the list, this one's $300. This one is the Earthworks Icon. The look is in itself says something to you. It just has a look. It comes with a stand too, which is really cool. It has a strong look to it. It has a great flavor to it. Now, here's the other part. If you look at the back of it, it just looks nice. They got a nice silver metallic knob for turning volume up and down. You got the USB, you've got the headphones, but everything is clean and clear on this. Where if you look at a more prosumer based one, say like the AT2040, you got a little more plastic on it. It is easy to read the volume. It is easy to see the headphones. The low pass filters are easy, but it just doesn't have that punch out look to you. And then if you look at like the 7 MV7 Plus, still doesn't have that same refined look. If you look over here at the Earthworks, when you're on the other side of it and you have to work it, it's all USB. Now the disadvantage to the Earthworks is you cannot plug it in as an XLR. So when you buy this, it's just a USB mic. Whereas if you were to buy any of these other mics, uh, any of these two mics here, yeah, I'll take that back. That is one of the characteristics of all of these, except for the MV7 Plus, is that you can use them for more than just a USB mic. And that's another reason why a lot of times people use this mic here. Gives you better options on it. But I mean, it's going to be completely up to you how and where you use these. Excuse me, I was just about to say they're all XLR. No, I meant this is the one that's XLR, and the rest of them only can do this. And that's one of those things where you have to make the choice if you can expand this down the road, or is this only going to be a USB mic. A lot of times when people are doing their broadcast, they just want a nice microphone that allows them to be heard, hear what's going on. Like I've got the headphones on here, so I'm doing like a podcast style, and make sure that everyone can hear them clearly and not pick up the rest of the room. And that's the reason I picked these microphones here. So let's go through the list one more time. We're going to do the Audio Technica 2040 USB mic. This one is $189. $59. This one, there should be a QR code in the description. If there's not, then I would just Google it. If you have questions on it, you can also use the QR code, email me, and I can answer any questions you have on it. The next one is the Rode Pod mics, and Rode just makes good microphones, straight up good microphones. It's USB C and USB only. You will not be able to use XLR with this one, but that's okay. It's going to be used for the object of connecting to the computer, going to your Zoom call, going into your podcast, going to the rest, and you just want to use your computer. You don't want to use an interface. This just gives you easy to use one. This one is a little more versatile in the fact you got an XLR in it, but it also has less controls on it. So you got to use the little color bar to turn everything up and down volume wise. So that could be an area where it could be harder for you if you're interested in learning how having one of these for you. And then the most expensive one of all, which looks the coolest, is the Earthworks. Now the Earthworks is also going to have a little bit nicer sound. Hold on a second. I just had someone comment in, so let me show this up here. So Joe just asked me which microphone I recommend. Uh, Joe, can I ask you a quick question? Uh, will you be hooking it up to an external mixer, and do you have a lot of experience with using microphones? And that's going to make the difference on my recommendation because, for example, I recommend this one for starters, which is the AT2040. It's only $159. You have no experience with microphones? Okay, cool. This is going to be the one I'm going to recommend you start with, the AT2040. See, said no, he didn't have any experience with it. And the reason why I'm recommending the AT2040, it's $159 is because of this. When you plug it in for the USB-C, you have all the controls back here, and you do not have to go into an app or anything. Your headphones make sense. So headphones is headphone volume. This volume is the volume that comes off the computer. This has the low pass filter, which gets rid of all the extra bass, and it's a USB-C. That's why I recommend this one for starter because it's really simple, it's really easy, but it's also a very great sounding microphone. Audio Technica makes extremely good microphones, and they've been doing it for decades, and they have tons of experience in high-end audio, and now they really are jumping into the podcast audio. So it's something. This is a mic they introduced, I think, about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, and it's just been a solid workhorse. That's a great question, Joe. Appreciate you asking. Anyone else have questions on recommendations on the microphone they should get out of these four microphones? And I'll go through them again. Um, let's see, we got a few people here on YouTube, and I'm multicasting right now, so I'm multicasting on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. It's one of the services I provide for anyone who needs it. So let's kind of go through those microphones one more time. We have the AT2040, which is this microphone right here. It looks really nice, really good microphone, sounds great, perfect for a starter's microphone. Only does USB C, does not do XLR, so you can't expand it to a mixer, but it is one that you can use very well. Next on the mics is going to be the Rode Pod Mic XLR. Very easy to use. The controls are pretty simple on it. So, for example, if you look back here, volume and headphone, but it doesn't have all the controls on the mic. You do have to do some stuff in the app. Next one after that is going to be the Shure MV7 Plus. This is pretty much an industry standard microphone. iHeartMedia sends these out. A lot of the major podcasts use these. A lot of producers use these because it has an iconic sound that everyone pretty much knows, and it looks like the $400 or SM7B, but it's not the same microphone. The advantage to this one here, though, is if you are looking to expand your audio down the road and start using digital mixers and other sources for your microphones, and this one has an XLR input. At the same time, one of the disadvantages of this microphone, because of the XLR input, is it doesn't have any real controls back here. You just have a headphone jack and USB-C. On this mic, you have to use this bar on top, which has the color on it, for volume turning up and down. Every once in a while, someone will hit that and accidentally turn the volume up when they're moving the mic around. So that's the only disadvantage to that one. But it sounds really, really good. The next one on here is if you want to have your own special look. This is the Earthworks Icon. This thing is insanely good sounding. It looks awesome in general. Take a look at this look on this microphone. It's just phenomenal. But it's it, what can I say? It just looks cool. All right, so we looks like at 21 minutes now. I'm going to be cutting this here in just a couple of minutes. We're just going to go through the mics, names one more time, prices of the mics, and then we're going to call it an evening because it is a little late. Um, it's going to be the AT2040. This is 159. It's a pretty cool microphone, easy to use for starters. Then we're using the pod mic, which is going to be the $209 mic from Rode. Really cool microphone, easy to use, all USB only, easy controls. You need a little bit more intermediate knowledge on how to use these, but it's really cool. And you do a little bit more stuff inside of an app for controlling like high pass filters and stuff like that. The industry standard $269 Shure. This one's going to be the MV7 Plus, which is a USB microphone. The most expandable of these sets of microphones out here. The only difference is how you turn the volume up and down. Where that little bar is on the top, that's where you turn the volume up and down. And in the back is where you plug in all your plugins. So you get a headphone jack, you've got an XLR and USB-C. This is the only one that lets you do XLR. So if you were going to expand this into a digital mixer or an analog mixer and put that in the workflow for podcasting, you could, which is a nice plus. And then the last and definitely not least is the Earthworks Icon. Right up. Just the look is amazing. Front and back look on this is just really cool. So if you're going to have this on your podcast, no one's really going to have that look that you would have. And this sounds great. Earthwork makes some really, really amazing sounding capsules for all types of manufacturers, including for Shure and Sennheiser for their wireless microphones and wired microphones. So it's it's one of those things where you're really just gonna be knocking it out the door. Earthworks is known for just making microphone capsules that just sound great, and it's as simple as that. We're getting close to midnight here. I'm going to be calling it a night. I appreciate all of you who's jumped in. I'm going to do the last 5 minutes here as question and answer 5 minutes. So we'll go just about another 5 minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'm here to answer them for you. Earlier, Joe asked this question: What's the what microphone do I recommend to buy? Uh, I like the Shure the most, but if you're a newcomer, the AT2020. AT2040, sorry. See, there's a couple of you still on YouTube, so love to hear any questions you might have. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Appreciate you. It's been about 25 minutes on here. If you have any questions or would like to learn anything about any of the microphones that are out here, I'm here for you. If you see this QR code at the bottom of the screen, just scan that and I can answer any questions you have via email. So, William Davis with a.p.c. Photography and WDC Media. This was kind of a late night thing. I just threw this together because I was like, oh, just had a good conversation with someone who's interested in doing podcasting. And I thought, well, why not talk about a couple things that are easy to use with a computer, that are very easy to throw a podcast together. And if someone happens to be on a remote pod, they're using their laptop and they just want a good microphone, here's a couple of good choices. I appreciate everybody showing up, and we're going to call it a night. Let's fade to black.